I can't get all the way around. Hello to you and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sian and my channel is Sianiza, and in today's video we are going to be doing an updated everyday makeup routine. So as you can see, I am barefaced. I have prepped my skin already, consisting of a cleanse, tone, serum, moisturiser and SPF. If you want to, I can do an updated skincare routine for you in the future. Let me know what you think to that. So my skin is all ready for my makeup to go on. So I've just clipped my hair back out the way. I'm going to go in with my MAC Prep and Prime, just a really nice light spritz. A really cooling and refreshing mist just to prep my skin before the makeup goes on, and it is obviously a setting spray which I'll use at the end as well. For foundation, I am going in with the Collection Lasting Perfection foundation. I'm just going to apply just a pump's worth of this foundation onto my skin using a dry beauty blender. I actually prefer using a dry beauty blender just because I feel it gives me a more flawless complexion with my foundation, I suppose. For anyone wondering, I'm using shade 3, which is called Cool Beige. I like this foundation for every day just because it's not too heavy, but at the same time we still get that lovely coverage in there as well. So it covers up all my uneven skin tone and texture which I want it to, without feeling too heavy and cakey on my skin. Next up, I'm going to apply some contour. So I'm going in with the Primark Foundation and Contour Stick. This is actually one of my favourite things to contour with at the moment, and it's such a bargain. It's only £2.50. The texture is just so creamy and lightweight, and the colour is just spot on. The shade I'm using is shade Caramel. I've tried other contour sticks and this is actually by far the best one I've used, to be honest. So these are all the areas that I apply my contour to. We've got just a little bit on the forehead, obviously just underneath our cheekbones, a tiny little bit alongside the bridge of the nose, and just a touch underneath my jawline. So to blend this out, I'm using a Real Techniques brush. It's this one. I can't tell you what it is because I've had it for so long, my hands have worn off what the brush is actually called, but it's this one, just a slanted one. It's quite dense, but it's also quite nice and fluffy to blend out that contour. Obviously, when you want to blend everything, you want to kind of blend it in an upwards motion. This is obviously going to lift our face. Once all of that is blended in, I am going to conceal. The concealer I am using is Collection, again, Lasting Perfection Concealer. Shade I'm using is shade 3, Ivory. These are the areas I conceal. I'm taking it just on either side of the bridge of the nose again, a tiny little bit just underneath my outer corner of my eye because I'm going to blend it upwards. A tiny splodge just in the centre of my nose, in the middle of my forehead and in the middle of my chin. Going back in with my beauty blender, just with the pointy side, just to start to blend all of this in. I'm just pressing gently with my beauty blender here. I'm not dragging the product, literally just pressing that in. Alright, that is concealer all pressed in. Now to set this, I'm going in with Primark Loose Mineral Powder in shade Ivory. It's only £2, to be honest. I prefer using something like Laura Mercier translucent powder, but I've run out of that. So I'm just going to pop this powder everywhere that I've used the concealer. So for this, I'm just using a Real Techniques sponge. It's that like microfiber one. I'm just taking it down just a touch, just because I get quite oily skin around my cheeks. So I'm just pressing this powder in to all of my oily areas. Now, I used to be a big fan of baking my setting powders. However, I have eased off on that slightly and I don't really leave this on for much time at all anymore. So I'm just going to take a fluffy slanted brush, this is just a cheap one from Amazon, and brush all of that powder off. Next, I'm going to go in with some bronzer. For this, I am using the Doll Beauty Give Me Sun bronzer. I'm using shade Medium Deep, and I've also got the Doll Beauty, what number brush is this? DB2 brush from their brush collection. So I'm just going to tap my brush into the bronzer because it is quite pigmented, you don't need an awful lot. And then I'm just going to start to brush this over everywhere that I applied the contour. So that's my face bronze. I don't want to go too over the top because obviously it is just for like my everyday routine today. If I were kind of going out anywhere, I would apply it just a bit more heavily. I'm going to go in with some blush now, and I'm using Doll Beauty again, and I'm using their new Pretty Fly blushes. So the one I'm using today is Costa Dell Doll. It is just a really nice kind of pinky, peachy, all-rounder shade, quite warm toned as well. Perfect for what we want for a blush. And to apply it, I'm using their DB1 brush. This is a matte blusher as well. For everyday, I'm actually really liking toning down my highlight and being a bit more matte. So I'm just applying this with a really light hand because, again, you don't need much of these blushes. They are really, really pigmented. I'm just taking this up in my temple as well, just to kind of warm my face up and to make sure it all blends in and it's not just a patch of blush on my cheek. Any excess that's on the brush, I'm just going to warm it over my nose, as I really like that trend of just having a little bit of warmth on the end of your nose there. As I said, I do like to be a bit more matte for everyday wear at the moment, so I'm now just going to cover my face with a fixing powder. It is the NYX finishing powder. So I'm just going to take the same fluffy slanted brush that I used to sweep away that excess setting powder, and I'm just going to press this in now. It really takes that excess shine away from my skin that I don't really want. Now I am going to add just a touch of highlight on the areas that I want, which is just a tiny little bit on the tops of my cheeks, going in across just underneath my brow bone, and a tiny little bit just over the bridge of my nose and above my cupid's bow. For this I'm using Beatface Cosmetics Golden Peach Loose Highlight Pigment. This is really strong, you don't need a lot of this. To apply it, I'm just using a fluffy brush from Doll Beauty again. This one is DB6. So I'm just taking a tiny bit of this highlighter on the end of this fluffy brush, and I'm just going to work this in to the top of my cheekbone and blend it out as I go. I just want it so as the light hits, that's when you'll see the highlight, so it just looks really natural and glowy. I just want it to be nice and blended in with my blusher as well, and not it be like a really strong line of highlighter. Just again, really nice and subtle. I'm now going to take a little bit and brush it underneath my brow bone, and just a little dusting along the bridge of my nose, and whatever's on the excess I'm just tickling it over my cupid's bow. So that's my highlighter done. As you can see, just really gentle and soft. This highlighter is amazing for like mega wattage as well. If you want to go stronger with this highlighter, just slightly dampen your brush that you're using to apply it with, and then you can really kind of focus where you want that extreme glow to be. So that's the base done. I'm going to go in with some brows now. So for brows, of course, I'm using my Pink Honey Original Hold brow glue. So I'm just going to give my brows a quick brush up to start with. I did have my brows laminated before we went into this lockdown. They are starting to wear off now, so I'm not going to go too crazy extreme with the brow glue. I just want a bit more of a natural fluffy look today. So I'm just going to dampen my little spoolie with some of the MAC Prep and Prime Spritz. I don't want my spoolie to pick up loads of this brow glue, so I'm not dampening the brush to crazy lengths. And then, as you all know, if you have watched my videos before, we swirl this spoolie into the brow glue for about 10 seconds, and then it coats your spoolie nicely. And then I'm just going to gently brush this through. You can achieve like a really highly laminated brow look with this brow glue. If you want to do that, I would recommend using the brow glue first, so you can really kind of press your brow hairs flat to your skin. But obviously, because I want it just a bit more natural and kind of fluffy and textured today, I'm applying it this way today. You can play around with the hairs until you get them right where you want to. I've got mine in position now, so now I'm just going to brush over just to flatten them a bit with the spoolie that's on my brow pencil. So I am using the XX Revolution brow pencil. I can't remember the exact name of it because I don't know what's up with my hands, but they absolutely demolish the logos and wordings on things. Does anybody else do that with their products, or is it just me? But anyway, it's got a spoolie on one end and it has a very thin brow pencil on the other side. This is really similar to the HD brow text that I've used in previous videos, and it's very similar to the Be Perfect Indestructible Brow pencil that I've also used in previous videos. This one retails for £6 or £7, I think, so it is the cheapest out of the 3 types of pencils that I've used like this, and the shade I have today is soft brown. So I'm just drawing a line directly underneath my brow on both sides, just so I can make sure I've got those lines even. And then I'm just going to start using really fine hair strokes just to take this product through my brows, just to fill them in. I think brows is something I always take the longest time on, just to perfect and make sure they're nice and even. Do they look even? I'm then just taking a highlighter pencil from HD Brows. I'm just taking a tiny bit just on the end of the brow, really, just to highlight underneath the brow bone. And then I'm taking a Doll Beauty brush again. This is DB8. It's just kind of like a square flat brush. And then I'm just gonna tickle this underneath my brow just to diffuse that highlighter pencil. That's brows done. For eyes, I'm keeping it really simple. I'm not actually going to pop on any eyeshadow. So I'm just going to be really simple and go in with some eyeliner and mascara. So for eyeliner, I'm using the Maybelline Hyper Precise All Day Eyeliner in brown. I've really taken to using brown eyeliners just because you still get that definition from using the eyeliner, but it's not as strong and as solid as using a black eyeliner. So this is just a kind of felt tip eyeliner pen, and I'm just going to just a thin line and a small wing just to add a little bit of definition. For mascara, I am going in with... Be right back, my dad's calling me. Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Is it really? Oh.
Which isn't boiling hot.
Yeah.
Sitting on the beach with them, swimming.
Yeah.
It's better than -1, isn't it?
Very much so. Okay, so mascara, I am using Bonjour Volume Reveal in Radiant Black. I actually really like this mascara, and it's so handy because it's actually got a tiny little mascara mirror, which is magnified. So if you've got eyes like mine, it's very beneficial. So the only part left to do now is the lips. So I'm using all Doll Beauty, currently one of my favourite beauty brands at the moment. So for lip liner, I am going in with the Diva Forever liner. It's just a really nice, soft, deep brown for liner. So as you all know, my lip process is still very much the same. I overline slightly at the top, just kind of naturally where my Cupid's bow aligns. And then I taper it back into where the corner of my lip naturally is. And then I essentially just follow the natural line of my lip on my lower lip. Just gonna colour this in slightly, and then we'll go on to apply lipstick. For lipstick, I'm using Dolled Out, again by Doll Beauty. Just a gorgeous kind of nudie, natural pink shade. I do just like to kind of soften it and blend it in with my middle finger. And then finally for lip gloss, I'm using Instaglam lip gloss. This is a kind of like a gorgeous, shimmery, sheeny gloss. I love the Doll Beauty lip glosses. They are so rich and pigmented. It's got gorgeous gold flecks in there as well. So that's my makeup all done. I'm just gonna set it all in place with my MAC Prep and Prime spray. All right, I've just let my hair down from those clips, and here we are, everybody. Here is my updated everyday makeup routine for you. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Comment what products you have your eye on, and if you're not already, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate you guys so much, so thank you. Take care, bye, see you next time.